Hello, I'm John Simmons, and this is Northampton News Update. The Northampton Public School recently held its annual art show, a tradition that has lasted for the past 25 years. But it was the first time the event had taken place since the COVID-19 outbreak, and it's safe to say that students and teachers alike found it to be a massive success. Erica, how long has the Northampton Public School been putting on these art shows?
For as long as we can remember, I would say well over 25 years, but this is the first show we've put on in 4 years since COVID. So this is a really exciting show to be putting on, to be back finally in person for it.
Excellent. And Marcia, what does the school hope to provide for the students by putting these art shows on?
Oh, well, it's nice for parents to be able to come and see what the kids have been working on. For us, it's just great to have art on display. I mean, you make artwork for yourself, but you also make it to share with the public. And so this is a great event so that the kids can share their artwork, show everybody what they've been doing. They get so excited about what they make, and just to keep it to yourself, it's fine. But let people see what you've done. They're so proud of what they've done, and for them, they get so excited about showing the world and showing their parents. And pretty soon, I think like next week, Erica and I are going to have the kids walk around the school, look at the art, maybe find a few pieces that they really, really like, and then write a little note to the artist about why they like that piece and what it is that really spoke to them. And it's a great thing to have the artwork out in the public.
It's wonderful. And Erica, what has the students' reception been for these events? Obviously, a lot of effort goes into them, but what have the students been saying? How have they been reacting to it?
Right. Well, I would say tonight it was amazing. We weren't quite expecting as many kids as there were in families. So, I mean, the excitement is through the roof. Even today in school, you could feel the kids getting really excited because they were seeing the things that we were putting up. All very, very positive. The kids are very excited, and you really see the amount of work that goes into it. It's fun to see that it's really worth it for what we're seeing with the excitement about art for the kids.
Awesome. And Marcia, you're an artist yourself. You put some arts in different art shops and whatnot, and you've been painting for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So does it mean something a little extra special to you to see the students putting their art skills on display?
Oh, yeah. As a painter, I love it when a kid makes a painting. As a painter, I love it when a kid mixes colors and is proud of what they've discovered. It's like, oh, look at this beautiful color I made, or look how I can paint this and make it look real or make it look funky, whatever. But I also love the other stuff that the kids do. I remember when I first started teaching, I liked to paint, and that was my thing, painting and drawing. And the sculpture stuff was fun, but it wasn't my thing. And now it's just, I love everything. I love when the kids make things out of clay. I love it when the kids take cardboard and recycled materials and just build something that wasn't there before. I love it when we have some tin cans that came from the cafeteria. So Paula brings us these big tin cans that, I don't know, soup or whatever comes in. So I just gave them to the kids and said, hey, what can you turn these into art? And the things that they come up with, it's just amazing to me. They're things I would never have thought of doing in a million years. So not only have I grown to love all the 3D stuff just as much as painting, but it's just something, it shows the differences in the kids. Some kids love to do the 2D stuff, some kids love to do 3D stuff. And if you're an artist, it doesn't mean you're just somebody that can draw well. If you're an artist, you're a creative person, and you see how to take something and turn it into something else. You see how to take a blank piece of paper and make something appear, or take a piece of cardboard and turn it into a sculpture. There's so many different things about art that I've grown from painter only to just artist in general, and appreciate all the art that's out there.
Awesome. This was an excellent art show. We're glad that you've joined us to see a little bit of it. Until next time. Rebecca, talk to us a little bit about how this event has gone on today, what went into it, how the students have received it, and so on.
Oh, well, it's been a very exciting day. Actually, we've been preparing for it for several months. We're standing right now in the book fair, and so Betsy McCombs, our librarian, has been working hard to get this ready. She's been signing up the student volunteers to work the event. She's been getting the wish list from the teachers, and of course, just planning for all the logistics that go into this, as well as the opportunities that students have had during their school day. And then on the other side of the curtain, we have the plant sale. Those plants, the students, like the kindergartners, planted their little zinnia seeds and marigolds. We've been doing the peppers, the lettuce, the tomatoes. The 8th graders did the tomatoes. So those have been in the works, and our amazing greenhouse stewards, led by Cheryl Castagna, has been preparing for that. And then the last thing, of course, is the art show, which I know you got a chance to interview our art teachers, and the many months that have gone into the preparation for that. So we're really excited to be able to have all 3 events at the same time. It's a great chance for the community to come in, and if you came in for the art show, well, then you get the other 2. Likewise, if you came in for the plants, you get the rest of it. So it's just a great opportunity to have the community come in, those who have students in the school and those who don't.
And what has been the reception of the event?
People have been very excited. I was actually just talking to a parent who said that this is, like, she looks forward to it every single year. People hold space in their gardens for our plants. They know that they're going to be able to get gifts for their children for Mother's Day at these events. And of course, the kids have been so excited to be able to show off their artwork, and having something up on the wall, like really representing themselves as artists, is really powerful. So the kids have been super excited to be able to show their parents that. So the community just looks forward to it every year, and it's exciting to be able to have people in our building.
Over at Centennial Hall, another art project of sorts is taking place. Marcy McCann and Peter Goodrich provided us with an update on their work to restore the historic landmark back to its original glory. I'm John Simmons, and we're outside Centennial Hall with Marcy McCann and Peter Goodrich to give us an update on the Centennial Hall building. Marcy, talk to us about where the project is at in the restoration process for Centennial Hall.
Well, right now we're at a very exciting moment in time because we are about to open the 2nd floor ballroom. Projects are underway, including staging, painting, plastering, and electrical upgrades. So this is the 2nd phase of our restoration process. The first phase was phase 1, which was the exterior, new roof, new clapboarding, painting, new chimney, about $700,000 worth of effort, and over many, many years we completed it in 2020. So then we jumped into phase 2, which also includes installation of sprinkler system, a new boiler, heating tanks to bring heat up to the 2nd floor so that we can occupy the space. Very, very exciting time. A lot of years, a lot of effort, a lot of dedication, a lot of money. Phase 3 is hopefully coming down the road soon. That's the addition that will hold a 4-stop elevator and additional studio space.
Excellent. And Peter, you've been in charge of this whole process. Can you talk to us a little bit about the challenges and rewards of being at the head of this project?
I'm the figurehead, but I mean, we've had the board behind in support. The building was constructed started in November of 1875 and finished in May of 1876. So being in the trades, in my head, I'm thinking, okay, they worked through the winter on this thing. And not knowing what winter was like back then, it's bad enough now working in the winter, never mind back then. But the building is so sound, it's sturdy, it's not sagging anywhere. It's really incredible. And it was all done with hand saws. That's the part that really kind of baffles me a little bit. But it's been a lot of fun. We found some pretty exciting things along the way. When we redid the siding, some of the clapboards had a lumberyard stamp on the back of them from East Lansing, Michigan. So it makes you wonder, how did the stuff get here? Did it come by train? Did it come by boat? I'm sure it wasn't horse-drawn back then, but it's just stuff like that makes it really interesting to work on buildings like this.
That's excellent. And so, Marcy, can you talk to us a little bit about why you think it's important to put this project on and preserve some history that's important to Northampton?
Well, this was going to be taken down, and the alumni of the last few classes stepped in and raised the $34,000 to save the building. That's how important it was to them. You take that in mind and think about all the different people that have been working to keep this whole and make this landmark building accessible again. There's not too many of these in the state, in the country anymore. Things get mowed under. I came from California. We didn't have stuff like this. So I was entranced and fell in love with the project. The town will has benefited from this. I mean, everything and anything was here back in the day, and anything and everything can be here once again once we get the second floor open.
That's wonderful. That's amazing to hear that Northampton and so many of its citizens have had the heart to preserve this history.
Oh yeah, it's just not this board, it's the original group. I mean, hats off to them. Before COVID, we had about 350 people in here a week. That's returning. I mean, that's a resource. When you have that kind of audience in the spaces that we can occupy, I mean, just think about what it could be.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so, Peter, obviously, you've been at the head of this for a very long time, very involved with the process. I'm sure you're thinking, what are some finish dates to get certain phases of the project and the whole thing done as well? Talk to us about what your target goals are and what steps need to be taken to reach those goals.
Well, if I could, I'd like to expand on what Marcy said a second ago. When we were pricing out sprinklers, we reached out to a bunch of companies, and one of them was Carter Sprinkler out of Concord. Well, it turns out he went to school here. He lived across the street, and he was like the second to last class that graduated out of his school. So it was just interesting talking with him to find out, well, this was the ball field at one point, or the football field was out back. But so to answer your question, we're in the midst of doing plaster upstairs, so we're hoping to have that painted and completed by the end of August. It won't be 100% done because we still have to sand the floors and a few other odds and ends, but that's the target date there. And then we have plans and permits. We don't have a building permit, but we cleared zoning board and planning board for our addition on the back of the building, which will house the 4-stop elevator, basement, the top floor, and some bathrooms on each floor, and a prep kitchen behind the stage area. That's in the future. Really, we need to raise some funds to make that happen, so we don't really have a date on that yet. So sooner the better, obviously. It's going to take a fair amount of funds to make that happen, but we're working towards that goal, and we're hope to get it completed soon. So.
Well, thank you guys so much both for your time and for the work that you're doing. Again, I'm here with Peter Goodrich and Marcy McCann. That's it for now. We'll be back with more right after this. Finally, we'll leave you with the sights and sounds of Northampton's annual Memorial Day Parade, where the town honored those who gave their lives in combat. That's it for this episode of Northampton News Update. Be sure to look for shows in the future and to tune into Channel 22 on TV to keep up with all the town's latest meetings. For Northampton Community Media, I'm John Simmons.